Hey, what's up, VC? It's Steve again, Harmless Rebel, and it's time for another country music update. For those of you new to my channel, I don't just listen to heavy metal, I listen to just about everything. And on occasion I'll do a country music update. I don't buy a whole lot, so it takes a while to accumulate enough to do a video. So I want to say it's been a good, probably 6 months, 5-6 months since I did another country update. And a lot of this stuff I've had even longer than that. Some of these I bought 7-8 months ago and just haven't shown them. So let me adjust this real quick. First off, in the background, we're playing one of the Record Store Day releases that I picked up a couple days after Record Store Day. This is Johnny Cash at Live in Prague. I'm actually listening to it for the first time right now, so I haven't even heard it yet. But it's Johnny Cash in 1983. This was in Czechoslovakia when it was still 83. It was still a communist country. I haven't read the whole story here in English and then in Czech, so I'll give that a listen or a read after I'm done with this video. But that's what's playing. So let's just kind of jump in. This is it's not a huge stack, so it shouldn't take me too long. I'll probably do another video in another month or so, because I do have some more that I just haven't got around to listening to yet that I've picked up. But this is one of the more recent pickups. This and the next one I'm about to show you. This one I was expecting country music, and that's not what I got. There are a couple country tracks on here, so this is more of a kind of a buyer beware thing. It's cool for me because I do like the other stuff that he does, but this is the newest release. Take As Needed for Pain from Hank Williams Jr. I'm sorry, Hank Williams III or Hank III. Now keep in mind when you buy this is a comp. This isn't a comp that was put out by him. This is one of his old record labels, and I didn't catch that when I grabbed it. Not that I still would have grabbed it, don't get me wrong, but and it's on clear yellow vinyl. But this is a comp of older material. I've already got most of the stuff on this album in one way or another. There's only 2 or 3 tracks on here that are actually country, though. If you're not familiar with Hank Williams III, he does do country music, but he also is in a punk rockabilly band called Ass Jack. He's also done, he was in a band with Phil Anselmo from Pantera called Superjoint Ritual. He's also plays bass on a few other of Phil Anselmo's projects as well. So he's involved in metal, punk, rockabilly, but he also does amazing modern outlaw country. I love him. His country stuff's amazing. I like the new outlaw country as well. Guys like him, Sturgill Simpson, Nick 13. Who else is there? There's a bunch of guys, and I'll show 1 or 2 more of their albums here. And these guys are for the most part outside of Nashville, and they're putting out some of the best country music out there. They've really gone back to the early sound. They've still got the steel guitar. It's not the modern bro country or whatever you call it that popped up in probably the late 90s and is completely taken over country music. So it's nice to hear something fresh. This one is not really country. It is southern rock though, so I grabbed it and threw it in. It's the new Blackberry Smoke. I just recently got into Blackberry Smoke. I wanted Whippoorwill when it came out, and then it went on sale a couple times. I just missed it. Eventually I'll get it, but this one's a little different sound. I still really like it. They also did a 10-inch for Record Store Day that I believe I've already shown that's really good as well. This one is on black and red marble vinyl. Really nice. But it is a little different sound than Whippoorwill, or I don't want to say a different sound, but it's a little different than Whippoorwill. Still a great album though, and with each spin, I've liked it a little bit more. So it's one that I do recommend if you don't grab onto it the first time. Give it a second, maybe a third spin, and I think you'll start to really hear something that you dig there. And then now, actually, before we do that, let's go with who we were just talking about. I was just talking about Sturgill Simpson. This is Meta Modern Sounds and Country Music. This is his most recent album. It's supposed to come with a free download code, but mine didn't. So, whatever. Amazing album. His first album's really good as well. He was also in a band prior to going solo, and they only released a CD, and it goes for crazy money, but I'm on the lookout for that too. But man, amazing, amazing album. Highly, highly recommend picking up both of his solo albums. He actually reminds me a lot of the... he reminds me a lot of Waylon Jennings. His voice and his tone reminds me a lot of Waylon. And that's not a bad thing. This is one that, if you're familiar with Jason Isbell, who's another one of the outside of... I don't know that outlaw country is the best for any of these guys, but they're all outside of the Nashville machine, you know. They're doing true country. Jason Isbell is one of those guys. Amazing. All of his solo stuff's been amazing. He was in a band called Drive By Truckers. Killer band. This is Southern Rock Opera. This is a great album. I picked this up in you can see it's $5 right there. This is a scratch and dent bin. It's slightly warped. So they sold it for $5. It's $25 anywhere else you see it. So it was just a killer score. And all these stickers will come off. I just haven't taken the... I had another one that was like this. I took a hot iron or an iron to it, and all the stickers peeled right off. So like I said, all of this stuff will come off. I just haven't got to it yet. If you run across a Drive By Truckers album, another band that I highly recommend, especially their albums with Jason Isbell. I like their other stuff as well, but the stuff with him is really where it's at, in my opinion. Here's another one, another country artist that I really love, especially her stuff from the early 70s, and that's Linda Ronstadt. This is her first album after going solo. Prior to this, she was in a, I guess you'd call it a folk or maybe folk psych band. There's still elements of that in this first album, as well as the more country that she would be more known for. Great album, though. Her first 4 or 5 albums are just amazing. If you run across them, I highly recommend grabbing them. Next up, Redhead Stranger from Willie Nelson. This is just an absolute classic. Anybody that likes country music should really have this album. I mean, this thing is a killer from beginning to end. This one, too, Phases and Stages from Willie. This is a cool album. It's a concept album, which is something he's not really famous for. And this isn't even considered one of his better albums. I think it's amazing, though. So he tells the story of a guy and a man and a woman who basically split up. The guy comes home. He's got a Dear John message from his wife. Side 1 is from the man's point of view. Side 2 is from the woman's point of view. Killer album. Or maybe I got it backwards. Maybe it's the woman's side. Yeah, it's the woman's side on side 1. Man's side on side 2. Highly recommend that one. Very cool. A little bit of Merle Haggard, Going Where the Lonely Go. Is this a white label? No, it's a stamp promo though. I prefer Merle's stuff from the 70s as opposed to the 80s. But he did have some good stuff going into the 80s, which I think this is 82. So he was still putting out some good music, probably through about 84, 85, but I do prefer his earlier stuff. Let's see, let's save that one. Next up, speaking of 80s country, this is one of my favorite artists from the 80s and 90s. I ran across 4 of his albums. I've got 2 others. There's still a few I'm missing. But I just absolutely love this guy. It's George Strait. First up, we got Oceanfront Property. This one's got All My Exes Live in Texas. Oceanfront Property. Let's see. Somebody's Walking Around Upstairs. Absolute classics right there. This was actually the first, what year was this? 86. This was the first George Strait album that I had. I had this on cassette years and years ago, probably in 88, 89. Next up is George Strait, number 7. Let's see, Stranger Things Have Happened, You Still Get Me, Rhythm of the Road, Deep Water. Does Fort Worth Ever Cross Your Mind? And then Right or Wrong. George Strait, even his stuff that he's released recently, his last few albums have been really good. Unfortunately, he announced that this will be his last tour. He's pretty much worn out. He's done He's done touring. I was hoping to go see him live, and man, the tickets sold out so fast. And I tried to buy tickets to it, second-hand tickets, I guess, and they just wanted crazy prices, so I missed out on that one. But next up, back to Merle Haggard. This is Merle Haggard and George Jones. I hated George Jones as a kid. My dad was a big George Jones fan. Played him all the time. It drove me nuts. Now that I'm in my late 30s, almost 40 now, I'm really digging George Jones, and this is a good album with the two of them. This one's another great album. She would go on to be a superstar, but I really love her first 4 or 5 albums as well, and that's Tanya Tucker. She would go the country rock route that Linda Ronstadt pretty much started that for the females, but all the females would kind of, the female country artists would kind of go that route in the late 70s, early 80s, and I just really prefer their earlier stuff. Great album. Another one that I just highly recommend. Then I picked up a couple of Hank Williams. I'm not a huge Hank Williams Jr. fan, but I do like him. I actually prefer Hank Sr. and Hank 3 over Hank Williams Jr., but he's got some absolute classic songs. His voice is amazing. This is, what is this one? 5-0. And then Habits Old and New. I think these are both 80s albums, too. This is another good one, Merle Haggard. As you can see, I didn't really put these in any kind of order. This is his best. One thing I like about these guys, as opposed to New Country, Merle Haggard, Hank Williams, Johnny Cash, Waylon Jennings, I'm drawing a blank, Willie Nelson. I mean, these guys, they wrote most of their music. They wrote music for other people. These guys really are responsible. This small group that I just gave you really are responsible for most of the country music in the 70s or 80s, or a big chunk of it. They were writing for themselves. They were writing for other people. Chris Christopherson was in there. Just all amazing songwriters as well. And they did play, they did do, most of their albums had probably 2 or 3 cover songs, maybe a song that was written by somebody else or with somebody else, but a good majority of the stuff they wrote was their own, you know, written from their own experiences. It's not like like I said, the Nashville hit machine that you have today. And, you know, I don't want to say anything bad about that either. I have friends that are involved in that machine, but it is what it is. The quality of the music and the feel is just not there anymore. The soul of the music in country is gone, I think. These guys are all former sharecroppers. They grew up as sharecroppers on farms. You know, they lived through all this stuff they sing about, you know, whereas the new country artists sing about what they learned from listening to guys like this. So next up is another of the more modern artists that I like. I like his 80s stuff, and that's, I don't know that he's even done anything recently, but I really like his 80s albums, and that's Randy Travis. This is old 8x10, and then Always and Forever. And then I've got a couple left, and that'll be it. Like I said, this one went a lot longer than I thought it would. So this one I just kind of grabbed. It was a buck. I'm familiar with I mean, obviously I know who the guy is. It's all church hymns, and man, killer. Dust on Mother's Bible. Buck Owens and his Buckaroos. I'll definitely be getting more Buck Owens, man. This stuff is amazing. Buck Owens is no joke, man. Great album. Highly recommended. I'll definitely be looking out for more of his stuff as well. And then last is kind of the godfather of country music, Hank Williams. This is Lost Highways, December 1948 to March 1949. This is before he was signed to a label. These are all recordings that he did on the road, going from radio station to radio station, from performance to performance. He would get sponsored to do these recordings. There's some just amazing stuff. A lot of this stuff I had never heard before. Just like I said, really amazing. Most of it, I shouldn't say most of it. Yeah, a good portion of it's written by him. Some absolute classics on here. I picked this up for $4 and it was sealed. I mean, it doesn't get any better than that. Love Hank Williams. And that's it for this update. It went a little longer than I thought, but like I said, probably another month or two I'll try to do another one. I won't let it go so far between country updates. But there you go, VC. Take care. Tell me what you think down below.